wake up every morning carrying the weight of yesterday. You drag it behind you like rusted chains, each link forged from moments you can never reclaim. Regrets, fears, grudges, failures, they cling to you, whispering in your ear, reminding you of all you've lost, all you could have been. You call it memory. You call it identity. You call it the price of survival. But what if I told you that survival is not the same as living? That the weight you hold so tightly is not keeping you afloat. It's drowning you. You fear letting go. You tell yourself that if you release your suffering, you will be empty. But tell me, what is so terrible about emptiness? Why does the hollow space inside you frighten you? Is it because it is unknown? Because it does not hum with pain, with regret, with the familiar ache of all you have endured? You mistake that ache for life. You are not alive because you suffer. You are alive in spite of it. You want peace, but you refuse to lay down your burdens. You grip them like lifelines, convinced that without them, you will be lost. But what if I told you that the moment you release them, the moment you surrender, you will finally be free? No. Letting go is not weakness. Letting go is the only path to becoming whole. The illusion of permanence. You have been lied to. You were taught that life should be built upon solid ground. That security, certainty, permanence, these are the things that bring peace. That if you could just control enough, hold on tightly enough, nothing would slip away. But control is an illusion. Permanence is a lie. Look around you. The seasons shift without permission. The tides rise and fall. The stars that once burned brightest in the sky will one day collapse into dust. Nothing is meant to last forever. And yet, you resist. You fight against change. You mourn the things that leave, as if loss is a betrayal instead of a natural state of being. You grieve the past as if it was stolen from you, instead of understanding that it was never yours to keep. You try to hold on to people who were never meant to stay. You try to force moments into eternity, carve them into stone, so they will never fade. But tell me, has this ever worked? Or has it only brought more pain? The trees do not beg the wind to let them keep their leaves. The river does not grieve the water that has passed. Nature understands something you do not. It does not resist the inevitable. It surrenders. It releases what no longer serves it. It lets the old die so that the new can take its place. But you clutch the past like a lifeline, like a knife's edge, slicing yourself open with every desperate attempt to make it stay. Why? Because deep down, you are afraid. Afraid that if you let go, you will have nothing left. Afraid that if you surrender, you will disappear. But I am here to tell you the truth. You are not meant to be full of suffering. You are meant to be weightless. The beauty of emptiness. You fear emptiness because you do not understand it. You see it as loss, as void, as the absence of something. But emptiness is not a curse. It is a gift. It is space. It is possibility. It is the clearing of old wreckage so that something new can grow. Think of a sky filled with clouds. The storm rolls in, thick and suffocating, swallowing the light. The world is consumed by shadow, by noise, by chaos. But when the storm passes, when the sky is empty, what remains? Stillness, clarity, the infinite stretch of open space where anything can happen. That is what letting go gives you. You are afraid of the hollow places within you, but they are where the light enters. They are where your transformation begins. You have spent so long gripping your pain, your anger, your fear. You believe that if you release them, you will be vulnerable. But what if vulnerability is not weakness? What if vulnerability is the foundation of your power? When you let go, you do not become less. You do not become nothing. You become infinite. How to let go. But how? How do you release the things that have defined you? How do you let go of pain when it has become your shadow, your companion, your constant? You must understand this. Letting go is not forgetting. It is not erasing. It is not pretending that the past did not happen. Letting go is choosing not to let it control you anymore. You must unmake yourself. Let the parts of you that ache crumble into dust. Let the past rot away like fallen fruit. Let your mind unravel, thread by thread, until you are nothing but breath, nothing but heartbeat, nothing but the quiet between thoughts. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself feel the loss. And then, release it. Do not clutch it. Do not carve it into your skin. Do not let it define you any longer. You must make peace with impermanence. You must understand that everything you love will slip through your fingers, and everything you fear will one day dissolve. This is not cruelty. It is kindness, because it means that nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not suffering, not grief. Everything passes, including you. And that is why you must stop wasting time holding on to things that are already gone. The transformation. Do you know what happens when you let go? You become free. You stop existing as a prisoner of your past. You stop carrying the weight of what no longer serves you. You become something new, something lighter, something untethered. You become everything you were meant to be. Without the chains of yesterday, you can finally move forward. Without the fear of tomorrow, you can finally breathe. The space you feared, the emptiness you resisted, it becomes your power. Because now, you are not weighed down. Now, you are not bound by suffering. Now, you are untouchable. You are not disappearing. You tell yourself that if you let go, you will become nothing. No, you will not become nothing. You will become everything. Everything that was ever waiting for you beyond your fear. Everything you could not see when your vision was clouded with regret. Everything you were always meant to be. The moment you surrender, the moment you stop resisting, you will understand. You were never meant to hold on. You were meant to fly. What are you afraid of? You want peace. But peace eludes you. Not because it is beyond your reach. Not because you are undeserving. But because you refuse to surrender. You grip your pain like a weapon, like a shield, like an identity. You believe that if you set it down, if you loosen your grip, you will be defenseless. That the moment you let go, you will unravel. But what if I told you that unraveling is exactly what you need? You fear losing control, but control was never yours to begin with. You believe that by clenching your fists, by holding on tighter, you can stop the inevitable. But you cannot stop time. You cannot stop change. You cannot hold back the tide. So tell me, why are you fighting a battle you cannot win? Surrender is not weakness. They told you that strength is about resistance, about standing firm, about never bending, about fighting until your knuckles bleed. But strength is not rigidity. Strength is adaptability. Look at the river. It does not resist the rocks in its path. It does not shatter against them. It moves around them, flows through them, wears them down over time. It is powerful not because it refuses to yield, but because it knows how to surrender. You think surrender means defeat. No. Surrender means freedom. To surrender is to trust that you do not need to control everything. that life is carrying you where you are meant to go, that the things falling away were never meant to stay. A tree does not mourn the leaves it sheds in autumn. It does not weep for what it has lost. It knows that in letting go, it makes room for something new. But you resist the seasons of your own soul. You fear the changes that are necessary for your growth. You cling to the dead branches of your past, wondering why your future cannot bloom. If you want peace, stop resisting your own transformation. The burden of identity. You are not who you were yesterday, and yet you carry the weight of every past version of yourself. You let old wounds define you. Let past failures shape your self-worth. You hold on to outdated beliefs about who you are, refusing to acknowledge that you have already outgrown them. You are not your pain. You are not your failures. You are not the mistakes you have made. So why do you let them own you? You cling to an identity built on suffering because it is familiar. Because stepping into the unknown, into a version of yourself that is healed, free, weightless, feels terrifying. But ask yourself, is the version of you that you refuse to let go of even real anymore? Or are you clinging to a ghost? You do not owe the past your loyalty. You do not have to keep carrying the weight of who you used to be. Let go. You are not disappearing. You are evolving. The fear of emptiness. You tell yourself that without your pain, you will be nothing. That if you release your anger, your bitterness, your wounds, there will be nothing left inside you. No, that space is not emptiness. That space is possibility. You were taught to fear the void, but the void is where creation begins. You think you need to be full of thoughts, of distractions, of noise. You believe that silence is something to escape from. But what if silence is exactly what you need? What if the absence of struggle is not emptiness, but peace? What if stillness is not the absence of life, but the beginning of something greater? You have spent so long trying to fill every space within yourself, with pain, with doubt, with the echoes of the past. But maybe you were meant to be weightless. Maybe you were meant to be free. Let yourself be unmade. You fear breaking down. You fear falling apart. But have you ever considered that maybe falling apart is exactly what you need? You must be willing to be unmade. Let the parts of you that no longer serve you crumble into dust. Let the past rot away like fallen fruit. Let your mind unravel, thread by thread, until you are nothing but breath, nothing but heartbeat, nothing but the quiet between thoughts. You must be willing to destroy the version of yourself that was built on fear. Because only then can you create something new. The fire does not mourn the ashes. It consumes. It transforms. It makes way for new beginnings. You must be willing to burn away the old, to make space for what is waiting to be born. You must be willing to let go of what was, to make room for what will be. The power of release. There is a moment, just before you let go, where fear grips you. A moment where your mind screams that you will fall. But then you release, and you do not fall. You rise. You realize that the thing you were afraid of losing was never meant to be yours forever. That the pain you carried was not part of you, only something you picked up along the way. You realize that letting go does not make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. Because now, you are free. You were never meant to hold on. You were not meant to cling to things that are already gone. You were meant to move forward, to change, to evolve, to shed your past like a second skin. You are afraid that if you let go, you will become nothing. No, you will not become nothing. You will become everything. Everything you were meant to be. Everything you could not see when you were blinded by fear. Everything you lost sight of when you were drowning in the past. You are not disappearing. You are becoming. So let go and step into everything that is waiting for you. To those who have been with us, our GrimFace warriors, thank you. You already know what this is. This is not just another motivational speech. This is a movement, a challenge, a wake-up call for those who refuse to live in chains. Every time you return, you prove that you are not like the rest. You are not here for comfort. You are here for truth. You are here because you know there is more, because you refuse to accept mediocrity, excuses, or weakness. And to those who are new here, welcome. But understand this: GrimFace is not for the weak. It is not for those who want sugar-coated words and empty inspiration. This is for those who are ready to face the darkness, to embrace the struggle, and to forge themselves into something unstoppable. So if you are ready to break free, to take control, and to become everything you were meant to be, join us. Subscribe. Step into the fire. And remember, you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be relentless. Now go, take action, become the storm.